Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. From NFL News Now, the Philadelphia Eagles find themselves at a fascinating crossroads in the middle of the season, grappling with a puzzle that seems to be growing more frustrating by the week. Yet somehow, head coach Nick Sirianni appears committed to a path that raises eyebrows across the fan base and analyst circles alike. At the heart of this debate is the role of tight end Grant Calcaterra, a player whose presence on the roster has fluctuated between promising flashes of competence and moments of outright struggle, particularly in the running game, which has been an area of concern for the Eagles this season. While Dallas Goedert continues to anchor the tight end room with the reliability and production that make him a foundational piece of Philadelphia's offense, Calcaterra has seen an increase in snaps at times, a decision that has prompted scrutiny due to its impact on the team's overall efficiency, especially when the Eagles face defenses that can exploit weaknesses in blocking schemes. Despite a season of mixed results, Sirianni has doubled down on his decision to feature Calcaterra, even in situations where it has not yielded the desired outcome, signaling a level of confidence that borders on stubbornness but also demonstrates a commitment to developing the backup tight end skill set, regardless of short-term consequences. Against the Chicago Bears last week, Calcaterra was on the field for only 12 snaps, yet 10 of those were dedicated to run blocking, a role that has historically been a challenge for him. Observers have questioned why a player with documented struggles in that area continues to see meaningful opportunities in situations where the team's ground game is at stake. The answer, according to Sirianni, lies in the coaching staff's philosophy and their faith in Calcaterra's ability to rise to the occasion when asked to execute specific assignments. Speaking to reporters, Sirianni highlighted that the intricacies of football often extend beyond simple success or failure on a given play, noting that defensive schemes, alignment stunts, and other variables frequently dictate outcomes in ways that may unfairly reflect on a single player's performance. In the case of Calcaterra, Sirianni argued that many of the plays where the tight end struggled were designed in such a way that even a perfect execution might not have prevented a defensive disruption. The head coach went on to stress that Calcaterra has been part of many successful moments in Philadelphia's recent football history and that the coaching staff believes he has the capacity to continue contributing positively, even in situations where errors are apparent to fans and analysts. This defense of Calcaterra, however, comes at a time when Philadelphia's running game has shown signs of stagnation, prompting questions about the long-term implications of such personnel choices. Saquon Barkley, one of the premier talents in the league, relies heavily on effective blocking schemes to create space and momentum for explosive plays. When the offensive staff opts to feature a tight end who has struggled in run blocking consistently, it not only limits Barkley's effectiveness but also diminishes the potency of the offense as a whole. The ripple effects extend to quarterback Jalen Hurts, whose passing success is tightly linked to the threat of a credible rushing attack. Hurts thrives in play-action scenarios and benefits from defenses being forced to respect the ground game. Yet the Eagles' inefficiencies in this area make it easier for opponents to scheme against both the run and the pass. This situational disadvantage was evident against the Bears, where Chicago's defense capitalized on the predictable tendencies of Philadelphia's personnel deployment, neutralizing opportunities for both Barkley and Hurts and underscoring the potential cost of maintaining Calcaterra in a role where he has struggled. Sirianni's comments on the matter provide a window into the coaching staff's mindset, even if it raises eyebrows among fans. He explained that the failures on specific plays are often a combination of factors, including defensive alignment, execution, and even slight schematic miscalculations, rather than a simple reflection of a player's ability. In his view, Calcaterra is a player who can adapt, learn, and ultimately contribute to the team's success, and it is the staff's responsibility to place him in positions where he can succeed, while trusting him to execute against increasingly complex defensive looks. This approach reflects a broader coaching philosophy that emphasizes growth, trust, and patience. Even when immediate results are less than ideal, Sirianni's willingness to publicly defend Calcaterra demonstrates his commitment to this developmental approach. But it also raises valid concerns about short-term consequences, especially as the Eagles seek to solidify their offensive identity and maximize the talents of star players in critical games. From the fan perspective, the calculus is less forgiving. Many observers have noted that the Eagles' running game has failed to reach its full potential, in part due to these personnel choices. When a backup tight end is responsible for the bulk of run-blocking snaps despite documented struggles, it creates predictable situations for opposing defenses, allowing them to scheme effectively against both the rush and the pass. This predictability has tangible consequences, as demonstrated in the Week 13 loss to the Bears, where defensive coordinators exploited the weaknesses in Philadelphia's alignment and rendered many standard rushing plays ineffective. In these moments, the debate over Calcaterra's role transcends mere player evaluation and becomes a question of strategic philosophy. Is it worth risking the efficiency of the offense in pursuit of developing a single player? Or should the team prioritize immediate results and leverage personnel who provide the highest likelihood of success on every snap? The broader narrative for the Eagles revolves around balancing player development with winning football. While Calcaterra has shown moments of promise, the reality of NFL competition is that efficiency and execution often outweigh potential. Yet, Sirianni remains steadfast, arguing that his confidence in Calcaterra is grounded not in hope alone, but in a track record of participation in winning football. The head coach's remarks suggest that the staff believes the benefits of maintaining Calcaterra in his current role, including continuity, trust, and long-term growth, outweigh the short-term risks posed by occasional inefficiencies. It is a gamble that highlights the tension between coaching philosophy and immediate competitive demands, a tension that is familiar to any fan of professional sports, but particularly pronounced in a team striving for both playoff success and sustained offensive identity. Looking ahead, the Eagles face a pivotal choice: either continue on this path of trust and development with Calcaterra or adjust the tight end rotation to better support the running game and protect Hurts' play-action opportunities. The current evidence suggests that Sirianni is leaning heavily toward the former, placing faith in Calcaterra's potential to eventually overcome his blocking challenges. Whether this approach ultimately pays dividends remains an open question, but the narrative is clear. Philadelphia is in a season-defining stretch where personnel decisions, coaching philosophies, and execution all intersect, and the handling of Grant Calcaterra's role could have outsized implications for the team's success. Fans will be watching closely, scrutinizing each snap, each run play, and each missed opportunity to assess whether Sirianni's faith is justified or whether adjustments are long overdue. The situation with Calcaterra is emblematic of a broader issue in football strategy, where the tension between immediate performance and developmental patience often defines outcomes. Philadelphia's choice to continue featuring a tight end with known limitations in key run-blocking scenarios is a microcosm of that challenge. While Sirianni's public defense of the player underscores a commitment to trust and continuity, it also serves as a lightning rod for criticism when offensive efficiency falters. Analysts and fans alike are left to weigh the philosophical merits of this approach against the tangible results or lack thereof on the field, a debate that will likely continue until either Calcaterra proves himself in high-leverage situations or the coaching staff adjusts course to protect the team's offensive ceiling. In the end, the narrative is far from settled. Nick Sirianni's insistence on defending Grant Calcaterra's role, despite repeated evidence of struggles in run-blocking scenarios, is a bold statement about trust, player development, and coaching philosophy. Yet the realities of the NFL demand results, and the Eagles' offense, particularly the effectiveness of Saquon Barkley and the strategic leverage for Jalen Hurts, hangs in the balance. Philadelphia's fans, analysts, and opponents will all be watching closely to see whether this gamble pays off, or whether it becomes a cautionary tale about the cost of loyalty in professional sports. As the season progresses, every snap, every run, and every play-action opportunity will be scrutinized. And the question will remain: can the Eagles find the balance between fostering player growth and maintaining offensive efficiency? Or will the decision to double down on Calcaterra's role continue to limit their potential on the field? Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. Jalen Hurts has finally broken his silence, and let me tell you, the words he chose are sending shockwaves across the NFL world. You could almost feel the tension in the air, as the Eagles' star quarterback didn't hold back, stating bluntly, and I quote, that nobody on this team wants him back for the Eagles now. If you're sitting there thinking this is just another headline, think again. This is more than a simple comment. It's a seismic shift in the locker room dynamics. And the ripple effects could be enormous. For weeks, rumors have been swirling around the team. Whispers that something just wasn't right behind closed doors, and now Jalen Hurts has added fuel to that fire, confirming suspicions that many fans have been sensing but couldn't quite put their finger on. The way he delivered the message, firm and unapologetic, almost sounds like a preemptive strike against anyone trying to twist his words, making it clear that this is not a flippant remark. He isn't just venting frustration. He's exposing a truth that the organization might have preferred to keep buried. You can almost imagine the scene in the locker room when those words hit the press. Players exchanging glances, coaches silently recalibrating their strategies, and the front office probably scrambling to figure out damage control. It's one thing to have internal disagreements, to have differing opinions on how a team should operate, but for the quarterback, the face of the franchise, to openly claim that no one wants him back, that's the kind of revelation that changes the narrative completely. And let's be honest, the timing couldn't be more electric. Every team in the league is always looking for an edge, always listening for cracks in the armor. And Hurts just opened a window into the soul of one of the NFL's most scrutinized franchises. The intrigue isn't just about whether he will leave or stay. It's about what this statement means for the locker room culture, for the fan base, and for the identity of the team moving forward. Suddenly, every trade rumor, every speculation about potential quarterbacks, every offseason strategy gets a new lens through which to be viewed. The story doesn't stop there, though. When you dig into the layers of this bombshell, you start seeing a pattern that has been hinted at. For months, there have been subtle signs that Hurts was feeling isolated, that his voice wasn't being heard in crucial decisions, and that perhaps the synergy that fans saw on the field wasn't mirrored in the meetings. Behind closed doors, you can almost hear the conversations that must have happened, players quietly debating the quarterback style, coaches questioning approaches, and executives weighing the optics of keeping or letting go of a player who clearly has immense talent, but whose place in the team hierarchy might be more complicated than meets the eye. And that's the part that makes this revelation so compelling. It's not just drama for drama's sake. It's the unfolding of a very real tension that could define the franchise for years to come. Rumors have a way of spiraling, and in this case, Hurts' directness is likely to create a cascade of speculation that the media, fans, and rival teams will dissect endlessly. The chatter around who could replace him, whether the Eagles would even entertain trades, and how other high-profile quarterbacks might fit into this scenario is already heating up. And it's only a matter of time before the whispers become full-blown debates. And let's talk about the human element here, because Hurts' statement isn't just about football, it's about pride, leadership, and personal stakes. When a quarterback reaches the level of Jalen Hurts, you don't just become a player, you become the embodiment of hope for millions of fans, a symbol of the team's aspiration, and a figure whose performance is scrutinized down to the smallest detail. To admit that nobody on the team wants him back is, in many ways, to admit a fracture in that very hope. It's as if he's holding up a mirror to the organization and saying, look at this. This is the reality, and the reality is messy, it's human, and it's fraught with the kind of tension that makes sports more than just a game. It's a story. It's a narrative that unfolds week by week, and now it has a new, explosive chapter. The reactions on social media alone are proof of how deep this resonates. Fans are dissecting every word, every nuance, looking for hidden meanings or signs of ulterior motives. Analysts are spinning theories, speculating about whether this is a negotiation tactic, an emotional outburst, or a genuine expression of dissatisfaction. And amidst all of this, the core truth remains: Jalen Hurts has spoken, and his words cannot be ignored. The ripple effect of this statement will also likely extend beyond the locker room. Think about sponsorships. Think about public perception. Think about the ways the narrative can affect ticket sales, merchandise, and even the broader brand of the Eagles. Teams are brands now more than ever, and every move, every comment, every internal disagreement becomes fodder for the court of public opinion. Hurts' decision to go on record with such a bold statement signals that he is not afraid of the consequences. It suggests that he values transparency, or at least candor, over comfort, and that he is willing to challenge the status quo to make a point. Whether this will ultimately benefit him, hurt him, or redefine his legacy with the team remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: nothing will look the same again. The whispers that once existed in corners and behind closed doors have now become headlines. And once the public sees them, the momentum of discussion becomes unstoppable. Every analyst will have a take, every rival team will have a calculation, and every fan will feel compelled to pick a side. And yet, amidst all this, there is a strange sense of anticipation. It's almost as if the football world is holding its breath, waiting to see what will happen next. Will the Eagles try to mend fences and retain Hurts? Or will this mark the beginning of a high-profile exit? Will other teams step in, sensing an opportunity, or will the market react cautiously, wary of the drama surrounding a superstar who has openly criticized the environment he's in? These are the questions that now dominate the conversation. The intrigue is palpable because nothing in sports captures attention quite like tension between a team and its leader, and make no mistake, Jalen Hurts is a leader. Whether the locker room recognizes it fully or not, his skills, his vision on the field, and his ability to command attention are undeniable. But leadership is as much about relationships as it is about talent. By calling out the fact that nobody wants him back, he's also challenging those relationships, forcing a reckoning that could either fracture or redefine the very core of the team. There is no middle ground here. His words demand a response, and the world is watching to see what that response will be. Rumors are already flying faster than ever. There are whispers about potential trades, whispers about internal debates that could shift the team's strategy, and whispers about what this means for the upcoming season. Every scenario is being considered, from the most optimistic to the most catastrophic. And yet, amidst all the speculation, there is a kind of raw honesty that cannot be ignored. Hurts' words are a reminder that beneath the glitz, the fame, and the spectacle of professional football, there are real people with real emotions, navigating complex dynamics and making choices that can reverberate far beyond the field. This isn't just another rumor. It's a revelation that has the potential to shape the narrative of an entire franchise for months, possibly years to come. Fans are now left to grapple with their own reactions. Do they stand with the team, with the quarterback, or do they wait for the next twist in this unfolding drama? The uncertainty is intoxicating. And in the world of sports, uncertainty is what drives engagement, discussion, and sometimes the most memorable stories. Hurts' comments have effectively opened Pandora's box. Once words like these are spoken, they cannot be unspoken. The narrative has shifted. The dynamics have changed. And every stakeholder in this saga, from the front office to the coaching staff, from fans to media, now has to navigate a new reality. Whether this results in reconciliation, a dramatic trade, or a redefinition of the team's culture, one thing is clear: the NFL world will never look at the Eagles the same way again. Rumor, speculation, and intrigue are now intertwined with the fate of one of the league's most high-profile quarterbacks. The story is just beginning, and as the world watches, one truth stands out: Jalen Hurts has spoken, and his words have already left a mark that will be felt long after the echoes fade. The stage is set, the players are in motion, and the drama that fans have been craving is finally here, unfolding in real time and guaranteed to keep everyone talking for months on end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.